Welcome to the WSMV4 Studio. I am so glad you've joined me for your own personal tour. I'm meteorologist Lisa Spencer, and we're beginning in my favorite place to be, and that is our First Alert Weather Center. We have a whole bank of monitors here. We'll be talking about those coming up in a few moments, and a whole bank of monitors in the back. That's where I spend most of my time, but you see me a lot on our chroma key wall. So let's take a look at this. We also call this the green screen. I bet you can't imagine why. Well, this chroma key wall is where we do, or our weather wall, is where we get to show you all kinds of graphics. And so one of the graphics that you see a lot is going to be our temperature map. And that temperature map, well, look at it, it's 81 degrees in Nashville when we're recording this, 77 in Lebanon, 77 degrees over in Dixon. We get this data from weather centers all across Middle Tennessee and even the country. Now, another thing you'll see us show a lot is going to be our First Alert Live radar. Today's a good day for tracking rain. We find it right here. So the radar is based on the ground. It sends out a beam, and that's the beam that you see moving around, and it detects a signal where there's rain located, and that's the display that we see right here on our radar. Another very useful tool is satellite imagery. Satellites, though, are up above the ground, up above the earth. They look back and give us an image of where there are clouds showing up. And we can take all those images, put them together, and make a movie so you can see where the clouds are moving. And there are a lot of clouds coming up from the south right now. Now, I mentioned that this is a green screen, and that is all I see. That's right. You see what I was just showing you at home, but when I'm in the studio, all I see is this green screen. So how does this work? Well, the television cameras have been told to see all the colors in the spectrum except for this color green. So what would happen if I wore green? Well, let's just give it a try. Here we go. Oh, look at this. Let me stand over here. You can just see clouds. That's it. Just clouds where I've made my little sash with this green tape. So what color do you think I do not wear to work? You guessed it. It is chroma key green that I don't wear. So that's a little bit of our TV magic, a little fun. But you might think, well, if you're standing in front of this green screen and all you see is a green screen, how do you know where to point? Well, here is a look again. On each side of me, there's a television monitor where I can see myself, and that allows me to know where to point. So when I'm looking at the cloud picture or whatever happens to be behind me, I can look at it and point, but I'm actually looking over the TV monitor. Like right now, I am pointing out what was Hurricane Helene the day that I recorded this. So this is how I can point to it and say, there's Orlando, there's Tampa. I'm using monitors. And in front of me, I don't read a script. I'm actually ad-libbing the weather, so I don't need a script. I see myself, and that also helps me to stay in the right place and point to the right thing. A couple of other things that we use here, my microphone, you've got to be able to hear me, and we also have right here a little earpiece that allows me to hear my producers and directors, and they can give me time cues or maybe just some information saying, look at camera 2 or look at camera 7 or wrap up. Well, now let's go and show you some more of the things here in our studio. So let's head this direction. We are walking over to what we call Array 1. Really, all Array 1 is a bunch of television sets lined up, but we can display different things in them. Right now, we've got this beautiful skyline shot, or we can put separate things into each one of those monitors. So I can do the weather over here, and the anchors can do, yeah, see, I can point to the hurricane. Or the anchors might stand here and say, Lisa's coming up with more on Hurricane Helene. So that's one of the uses there. Another spot we have in the studio is what we call our LED. And over here, we've got this great big screen in the background. We can put a variety of things back there. Right now, it just has a blue 4. And in front of me is our anchor desk. Now that's where our anchors will stand. They do stand a lot, and they have little bitty stools tucked up under there if they need to sit down. And you may notice there is a little bit of light coming up from the desk. Also makes them look very nice. Let's head over across the studio. We're over to Array 2. And from Array 2, we are able to see more things that we can put into monitors. Again, Right now, we're just showing the skyline of downtown, but we could put something in half of the monitor over here and something else in half of this monitor. So this gives us a variety of things that we can do. Now, next we take you over to what we call Content Center. But this is where our traffic person in the morning puts together their traffic report. And there's a computer right here, and she can change graphics here. She can show you where there might be trouble on the roads. And sometimes the anchors will stand here and they will just give you an update. Maybe we call it alert desk. So give you some new information. Next spot is kind of cool. I don't have anything in it today, but this is called a touch screen, and you can actually touch on this monitor and things will pop up here. But by far the coolest place in the studio is going to be over here at the Weather Center. We're back here where I spend most of my time, and my coworker Dan Thomas, wave Dan, he's here today getting his weathercast prepped for the day. So Dan is looking here at some data on our computer. He can draw graphics on the computer, which you see on the air. So we do all of that ourselves. We wear a lot of hats around here. Put together our own forecast and also put together our graphics. And then usually we will have our radar control right here, and you can see part of the display. So this is something else we use, especially during severe weather. So we spend a lot of time back there preparing the news. During severe weather, you'll see us standing up here, and we can also control our radar right here and give you the latest information on what's going on. Well, that is your tour. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it. WSMV4, our freebie studio tour, just for you.